This is ground control to Ginger Tom. Irrelevant fact, the specialised ground control tyre was the very first mountain bike upgrade I bought for my Giant Escaper back in the Pleistocene era. Relevant facts, it's still a brilliant, fast-rolling all-rounder in a couple of really useful options, and it is an absolute bargain. So, I'm going to talk you through the range, talk you how they're put together, why that affects the way they ride, and then recommend which of the excellent ground control range will probably suit you. So let's talk about tread, baby. It's a fairly small tread block, as you can see, relatively even over the top, slightly ramped at the front, slightly siped. So it is directional, although I wouldn't worry about that too much. You can run them reversed if you start to wear them out. Side knobs are a little bit bigger than the centre, so obviously it hasn't got the bite of something like a Cannibal or a Butcher, but it's more of a drifty tyre than a real bitey tyre, if you know what I mean. But as fast clearing all-rounder that gives you more grip than a standard race tyre, and so it's great for as a fast trail tyre, then they've got it absolutely dialed with this. And it comes in, as you can see, a T7 compound, which is kind of specialised middling compound. Again, I'd probably put it similar to Max Terra on the Max's side, or, well, just kind of general average rubbery grip, lasts reasonably well, trustworthy in all conditions. So that's your kind of better grip option on the ground control. And then there is the T5, which is definitely a faster rolling, harder compound, so longer. I mean, it's still not sketchy plastic scary, but this is your rear option, I would say, if you're looking for control. So faster rolling, longer wearing, more of an XC focus on this. And while we're chatting about it, this is the ground control. So this is the lighter weight Carcass. Comes in around 735 grams, so there's 2.35 in a 29. And then you get the ground control grid Carcass. Now this is grid XC, so it's not the full-on trail grid Carcass. It's still 60 TPI though, and it still has reinforcement in the sidewalls, but it doesn't have an extra puncture protection layer across the top. So it kind of feels more fluid, more alive, more bouncy than the trail Carcass. So you might want to add a couple of clicks of damping on your suspension to compensate that. Or, to be honest, the people who are going to really like this tyre are probably going to just enjoy that lively, fast, sort of high energy feel. I keep talking about high energy in tyres, but it's a bit less than talking about hysteresis, which is the official way to describe how a tyre rebounds. So basically, it's not slow damped, so you hit something, there'll be a bit of a ping rather than a poof, and it just feels a bit faster, quicker, and livelier. And yeah, again, great tyre. I mean, I'd be very happy running ground control grid T7 on the front of a lightweight trail bike or even an XC bike all year round here in the UK, up north. And then I'd probably go for T5 on the rear. And control Carcass, much lighter, more supple, hasn't got that reinforcement, so a bit more vulnerable to punctures, particularly pinch punctures. But I've not really had major issues with Specialized tyres in terms of the lasting compared to other brands. They're a pretty tough and durable Carcass, even in this control version. And they don't do an S-Works. They don't do the absolute hyper-light, paper-thin Carcass option in the ground control. One thing I would say with the control is because the Carcass doesn't have any sidewall reinforcement, it needs slightly higher pressures to kind of keep shape. If you drop it too low into the teens, it will start squirming around a bit and it's more vulnerable to pinch flats. But unlike the Grid XC tyres, you get puncture protection under the tread itself. So for faster cross-country use and sort of higher mileage use, which is where this, lighter Carcass would ideally be used, you've got that extra thorn and pointy things protection. So yeah, I mean, again, both carcasses kind of work really well for what they're supposed to do. Well, what else do you need to know? For once, when you blow these little darlings up, they are actually on width. I mean, about 59.5 for mil on this tyre on a 30mm rim, which is 2.34 inches. So unlike pretty much every other tyre brand, particularly Maxxis at the moment, these come up sized as you would hope. And again, it's a good all-round size for a bit of cushioning. Will fit into most XC frames fine without leaving them a bit clogged on space. And again, yeah, fast clearing, I've talked about that. Yeah, it's just a really good, faster than you'd expect all-rounder that's also grippier than you'd expect in two useful compound options and two useful carcass options. But the real win at the moment is that Specialized, they actually dropped the price about a year ago, I think, across all their tyres. So you're looking at 30 quid. For what is a top-end tyre. I mean, there are plenty of brands out there selling a tyre with very similar spec, 60 TPI sidewall reinforcement, activated silica compound for 60, 70 quid. These are literally half that price. So that's the ground control. I'll be running through a whole load of other tyres in this kind of downcountry XC spectrum over the next few weeks, because that's where my skills and my expertise and my passion for biking really lies. So, and next up we'll have the Specialized Fast Track, the slightly faster treaded, even lighter sibling from the Specialized sort of XC downcountry tyre family. So stick around for that. Click for notifications if you haven't already. Click to subscribe. If you really like what I'm doing on the channel, buy me a virtual cup of tea and a biscuit via Patreon, and I will thank you with early, extended and ad-free edits on that channel. And then massive thanks to my Patreon subscribers who've already signed up. Their names are scrolling up the screen now. And go shopping from my industry supporters. Super grateful for those guys for getting behind the industry. They're on the wall behind me, but I'll put their names at the end. And yeah, they're just great that they're investing in the channel, and meaning I can spend more time talking to you on a GoPro about the really good stuff in mountain bike and also what to avoid. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kest TV, talking about the Specialized ground control. Fast, light, usefully grippy, and an absolute bargain. Oh, and if you shop around, you can get it in a brown wall as well, I think, but they're pretty scarce, so look carefully.